Ah, ah. Hello, everybody. I'm the entity, and today I'm hosting the pregame for the DFL today. Got an excellent game coming for you today with the frickin' Jungle City Wild going up against the Black Death. Here we'll go to the screen. We'll see the two teams looking to face off here. Jungle City Wild with a new quarterback. Black Death also with a new quarterback. Cody Hawk leading the Black Death. Wayne Lawrence, who has played in the playoffs for the Wild before, leading the Wild. Both teams have won a playoff game before. Jungle City in Season 4. Black Death in Season 1. But neither team with a lasting legacy in the DFL. Looking to cement a legacy somewhat. Try to get to 2 playoff wins. Would be a pretty big spot for both teams. But as for who's going to win this game, I think you got to be looking at these offenses. I think obviously both of these teams, strong defenses, very strong defense from the Black Death, very strong defense from the Jungle City Wild. But I think it's really going to come down to these offenses and whether they're going to be able to perform. And, if you ask me which team is the better offense, I have to go with the Wild. They got the quarterback. They got the star receiver. A solid running back who's also good in the receiving game. Look at these stats. Their star receiver, Darren Leon, 11 touchdowns. Eric Rogers with 4 touchdowns. Their starting tight end, Conrad Tucker, 3 receiving touchdowns. Eric Summers, their running backs, has more receiving touchdowns than he does rushing touchdowns. Very interesting. But, this is a team that is starting to thrive on offense. And I think for that reason, this Jungle City Wild team is going to be able to win. There's some injuries in the secondary, specifically cornerback Terry Brown for the Death, who had 4 interceptions this season. He will be injured for this game. Even if they win, he's injured for the season. But, there are some bright sides on this Death offense, running back Sam Gora with 9 touchdowns. They're going to need him to perform. And then, of course, wide receiver Pro Bowler Thurman Sylvester. He had a nice season. Not a lot of touchdowns for other receivers on this board, but Thurman Sylvester going to be that main target for this Death team. And, I think really at the end of the day, this is going to come down to whether the quarterbacks can play, whether the quarterbacks can be safe. Cody Hawk, this season, 26 interceptions. That's the most in the DFL. Last season, Wayne Lawrence, 31 interceptions. That's the most in a single season in DFL history. This season, though, Wayne Lawrence has been a lot safer, a lot more conservative. Only 12 interceptions on the regular season, helping him lead a quarterback of the year and comeback player of the year awards. Of course, don't count out these defenses. Don't leave these defenses out for a second. Especially these linebacker cores. And that's what makes me worried mostly for the Black Death is if they can't get the run going because of this awesome linebacker core that the Wild have. Eddie McFarland as the left outside linebacker. Chucky Mathis, one of the best linebackers in the league. And then Gary Hayden, a tackle for loss machine. It's going to be a nightmare to deal with them. But you're going to have to if you're going to want to win this game because the Black Death are going to need to run the ball I don't know if Cody Hawk has it in him to carry this Death team. And, the wide receiver core is just not that strong. Hopefully they could try and lead on their new rookies. Ken Dotson, for example, 3 touchdowns on the season. A good rookie campaign for him. Nothing too flashy, but solid, what they needed. But they're going to need a lot out of Dante Smith, their first pick in the draft. 0 touchdowns for Dante Smith on the season. Bit of a Matthew Golden situation there. Can he be like Matthew Golden, get a touchdown in the playoffs? Those 2 rookies. Let's take a look at the Pro Bowlers on these teams. Death have 2 Pro Bowlers in total. One of the lowest of the playoff teams. Thurman Sylvester at wide receiver. He had 7 touchdowns on the season. And then the right end, Jamal Middleton, who had 13 total sacks. One of those for a safety. Love to have Jamal Middleton on your team. Wild, they've got a little bit more in the Pro Bowl talent situation. Right tackle is a Pro Bowler. Wayne Lawrence is a Pro Bowler. Wide receiver Darren Leon is a Pro Bowler. And then they got a Pro Bowl kicker. Lots of talent on this team. Their kicker, Riddick Knight, Pro Bowler, also a rookie, his first season. Huge pickup for them. He's been 32 of 35, 91%. Longest field goal is 52 yards. So he's got the leg. Kid's been good, and that can be a real sour spot for teams in the DFL when they don't have a kicker. So nice to have that hole plugged up. This is going to be a fun game. I think a defensive game. Ultimately, it's on those offenses. I think on those quarterbacks. Limiting the mistakes. Both teams have a solid running game that they can lean on. I think that's been the narrative this season. The year of the running back. And I think really, if the Death want to win, it's going to be through Sam Gora running the football. If they can beat this wild middle linebacker core. Because this middle linebacker core, or this linebacker core in general, great tacklers, also great in coverage. They can beat you in 2 ways. Chucky Mathis, one of the best corner or cover linebackers in the league. And they don't have a terrible secondary either. Byron Greer, quite the player. He's had quite the season. They are able to force a lot of turnovers, lots of forced fumbles, lots of interceptions. And Cody Hawk has been known to give up those interceptions this season. The former Hell Blood Shark taking on the former Holy Men. Both quarterbacks used to be rivals in a sort of sense. In that way. We're just 3 minutes from the start of this one. Probably started at like 2:29, probably something like that. Hello. It has been me, the entity, the whole time. Come to the dream realm and watch some DFL football. Yes. Please come to the dream realm. So you can probably hear the crowd now as we are coming in to the mausoleum. Important part of this game, Death have the home field advantage, winning their division. The Wild are a wild card team. So despite having the better record, the Wild will be the away team. Got to wonder if the home field advantage will play some sort of part in the results of this one. Nearly ready to start the first playoff game of Season 5 DFL. And the kick is away. Here we go. Wild return the kick. It's Von Doe on the return. Back to the 20. Basically the same as a touchback. And here comes out Wayne Lawrence. The hope for this Wild franchise. Eric Summers in the backfield with DeJuan Riley to his right. Wayne Lawrence drops back. Looks deep right on the first play. It's Darren Leon. And he has the man. First play bomb. And he finds his favorite target, Darren Leon, the Pro Bowler. 11 touchdowns on the season for Darren Leon. And he was a couple steps away there from another one. 44-yard bomb. And is brought down. And they'll run it on the second play. A nice run there for Eric Summers. Eric Summers had a nice year in terms of yardage. Only 2 touchdowns on the ground, but he did have 3 receiving touchdowns. A good receiving running back. Watching this game with a McCafe coffee. You should buy one too. Shooting beams into your brain to buy a McCafe coffee, and that's Wayne Lawrence shooting a beam to Conrad Tucker for a first down. This Wild team is driving, feeling very little resistance from this strong Death defense. Wayne Lawrence fakes the handoff to the fullback. And a short run there. Doesn't go much of anywhere. Maybe 1 yard on the play. And it is 2nd and 9. Wayne Lawrence commanding the huddle. I think his boys know what to do. Drops back in the pocket after taking the snap under center. Looks right. Able to throw it over a man, but I think that throw may have gone over the head. Gone out of bounds. Wayne taking it from shotgun now. Looking right, finds his man. That's a touchdown! Jerry Mays with a touchdown. A huge extension. And that is a huge early lead. Watch Wayne Lawrence. Has a lot of time. Enough time to make this great read. Find Jerry Mays, who extends for the touchdown there. Death fans not happy. Jerry Mays only one touchdown in the regular season. 23-yard touchdown reception here in the playoffs. And what a great first drive for Wayne Lawrence. And the PAT is good. Let's kick it to a graphic here. Wayne Lawrence loving his life on the Wild side. Pro Bowler this year, QB of the year, comeback play of the year. Last season, he had 31 interceptions. Single season league record. This year, comes back, wins QB of the year. Nice little stat line, a lot less interceptions. That's been helping this Wild team make it to where they are now. And now the Wild will kick it away to the Death and Cody Hawk. Cody Hawk this season was the quarterback with the most interceptions thrown. 26 on the season. So you can see Wayne Lawrence is almost sort of a demon. He was the pass interception leader, Cody Hawk this year. And you got to wonder how the fans feel. Death back in the playoffs for the first time since season 1 after getting Cody Hawk in the offseason. But throws 14 touchdowns, 26 interceptions. Maybe it's just not, it's not really his success. Did throw for 3,000 yards. And this man had a nice year running the rock. Sam Gora breaks a few tackles, but he's going nowhere. This Wild defense is swarming. First play, and they look hot off the ball. Sam Gora, though, 9 touchdowns rushing the ball. Nice season for him. Cody Hawk coming over from the Hellblood Sharks. It's classically their starting quarterback, and now he's looking for a new legacy here on the Death. Similar sort of story to Wayne Lawrence in some ways. Play action, nice. Fooled our cameraman there. Doesn't fool the Wild enough, and while he gets the ball off, a nice hit from Mike Johnson, the defensive tackle. It's going to jar that ball free and have it fall to the ground as 3rd and 12. Not nearly as clean as the first Wild drive. Cody Hawk taking a snap from center. Looks right. Looks right at a defender. Lorenzo Shelton with the deflection. Not a man you want to test like that. 4th and 12, they're going to punt it away. That's a huge difference in first drives, you know, in a game you think is going to be a defensive battle. As a Wild fan, you love to see your offense get off to a hot start, especially the two guys that got to have that hot start. Wayne Lawrence, Darren Leon, your two stars. Sorry, fans. 1 sec. Sorry, fans. Okay, I'm back. 7-yard gain. Make it 2nd and 3. This is, the Wild seeing very little resistance from the defense at the moment. The pitch to the left side this time. Lots of blockers out in front of him. Ooh, and Eric Summers makes a man miss. He was faster than his blocker, made it around the edge. There's one guy to beat. Shifted off of that man, hit the edge, and found the first down. And really, really great drive so far from this Wild team. There are some people saying you can't sleep on this Wild team, despite them being a wild card team. Obviously they're not playing a home game here, but you gotta say that the reason they're not the reason they're a wild card team is because they're chasing the C-men in their division. A really good team. They almost had the C-men to win the division. So, you're playing a team, in sort of like the worst division. I feel like this is a game to prove something, make the rest of the league a little bit scared of you. The depth, though, they gotta bolster down. This defense has to make some plays. That's what they do. Right there, they're not making any plays. Derek Taylor with the catch. Found a weak spot in the zone. Wayne Lawrence is just abusing that today. Look at how he looks. He looks calm in the pocket or in the huddle. 4 for 5, 87 yards in the first quarter. Looking very good for Wayne Lawrence. This is DFL playoffs. You never know what's going to happen. The misdirect on the handoff. Up the middle, Rod Davis with a nice run up the middle. Even when they're not making the flashiest plays, it's solid gain after solid gain. That's a gain of 5 yards. And those big 44-yard passes to Darren Leon, those are right hooks to the face. They open with the right hook, but these jabs, these 5-yard runs, jabs to the gut, those are really going to build up over the game, and it's going to lead to those big hooks later. Unless this death team can bolster down. Great play action from Wayne Lawrence. Had him fooled, and he finds a man in double coverage. Wayne Lawrence, fearless right now. Confident in the pocket. A great play action. Stays in the pocket for a long time with a great fake. See if they go with Eric Summers here. Not a ton of touchdowns in the regular season. Only 2 rushing it. They like to pass the ball. And they are going to pass the ball here. Tries to hit a little quick flick up the seam and doesn't find anything. Josh Gregg, a nice deflection. Josh Gregg, the leading tackler on this Death team. He's one mean son of a bitch. 108 tackles. It's the most that's the most tackles from a player we're going to see all day today. Any of the wild card teams. Josh Gregg. Second and goal. Let's see if they run it here. Handoff. Tries to get to the right side, but it's a big loss. That is a significant loss at the goal line. And they're just not a goal line team, this Wild squad. Their goal line rushing hasn't been great this season. Now it's third and goal from the 5. They'll probably pass it here. Wayne Lawrence looking for another touchdown. Wayne drops back. Looks around the field, looks short, and that's deflected. Jamal Middleton, the Pro Bowler, gets his big arm up there, and the right end swats it down. They knew they were throwing it, put everyone in coverage there. That's just a great defensive scheming from the defensive coordinator. A great execution from the big man, Jamal Middleton. It seemed like Wayne had a guy right at the goal line. Couldn't hit him over the big arms of the right end. $22-yard field goal there. Bend don't break from the death. That's huge. Really, a touchdown here puts the Death in a much nicer position, You do not feel you don't feel that worry if you get a touchdown here. You're only down by 3. They have not really been able to stop the Wild, but a nice return here back to the 30. And the Death will start with good field position. Not a great drive on their first drive. Pretty stagnant. Couldn't get the run going, and that's what they're going to need to do if they're going to win this game. They're going to need to get the run going. Sam Gora has carried them. Here's a run up the middle. A nice run. Sam Gora. A huge run. About a 20-yard run up to the 50, and that is how they got to get going. Sam Gora up the middle like that. That's how they win. The Wild do sort of, on paper, counter this Death team. A great linebacker core. Eddie McFarland on the left side, Chucky Mathis up the middle, and Gary Hayden on the right. And at the end of the first quarter, it's 10-0. Jungle City Wild. Black Death, last time they were in the playoffs, season 1. They beat the Swedish Armada in the first round, then lost to the ABCs in the divisional round. Last season, the Wild were in the playoffs. They beat the Dragons. A nice big gain there for Sam Gora. They beat the Dragons and then lost to the ABCs as well. So both of these teams have only ever lost to the ABCs in the playoffs. ABCs aren't in the playoffs this year. One of them's got to go. One of them's got to get beat by the other team. And a handoff. There were a lot of men in the backfield before that handoff took place. And a great tackle there is able to stop Sam Gora before he makes it across the first down. It's 3rd and 1. Paul Gable on the tackle. Sam Gora was trying to force his way to a first. You could see him trying to stay up, but he's pulled down to the ground. Big gravity there from Paul Gable. And a handoff, short of the left is stuffed. So they stuck to the ground. They didn't try any other strategy. But some great defensive play there from the Wild. And a big punt. Oh, touchback. I thought for a second that was going out right at the one. That had a great angle. Not great enough. In the pylon for Kurt Hopkins, the punter. Wayne Lawrence comes back out at the 20. A score here would put the Wild up to a commanding lead in this one. Wayne Lawrence told media today, he felt a lot more comfortable with this Wild team than he did at the Holy Men. And we've noticed he's been a lot more of a wild child, going out, staying out late, drinking, having premarital sex. So, a lot of Holy Men fans don't like that, but, you could see Wayne Lawrence is sort of thriving as a personality-wise with the Wild. A nice run there. This team is really running over the death. They got to figure out something. Wayne Lawrence sends Summers in motion. Drops back. Lots of time. Looks over the middle and finds a man. What a throw from Wayne Lawrence. What a touch on that pass. Wayne Lawrence, 6 for 9, 129 yards. Nice game so far. Throws it to the right side, and his receiver makes a great play on it. There was a man waiting to take that out of the air. But Jerry Mays, who's had a great game so far, already a touchdown on this one, is able to make that catch. Jerry Mays, 3 catches for 64 yards and a touchdown. He's having a great first half as well. Wayne sends a man on his right in motion. Closer to the slot. Wayne moving around in the pocket, throws it across the middle and almost throws an interception. Always worried about that with Wayne. He can throw a lot of interceptions. Not a lot of interceptions on the season, though. Wayne mitigating the interceptions, 12 interceptions this season compared to 31 last season. And, that's been huge for this Wild team. The mitigation of those mistakes allows them to stay in games that Wayne can otherwise throw away at times. Great play action. He's been great on the play action, and he finds Darren Leon on the right side, his favorite target, the Pro Bowler, wide receiver of the year, and quarterback of the year on this team. They won that award in tandem for sure. Darren Leon down the right side is always a risk for an instant touchdown. And this is the third drive today for the Wild in the red zone. Crazy driving. And second and inches. An inch for a first down, but it's also 3 yards for a touchdown. Rod Davis in the backfield. Up the middle, and he gets stuffed up the middle. This deaf team has played very well in this short field. They got to protect that inch right now. More importantly, protect those 3 yards. But it's the 2-minute warning. if you're the Death, you need to get a big stop here. If you're asking me, this is something you need. In the backfield is Eric Summers. Strong to the left side. Wayne Lawrence hands off the ball, and a big stop. Ifeanyi Ohalete. The strong safety and a real guy in the world with a huge tackle coming up from the strong safety position. A great tackling safety came in for the injured Tiki Jackson this season. A huge injury for this secondary, but he's making big plays. It's the next man up for this team. Another solid drive, but ends with just 3 points. Sponsored by NFL Mobile on Sprint. Sprint as in running fast. SPRINT. That's me at a spelling bee. Rhyming accidentally. And there goes the kick downfield. This one's going to be returnable. Not a very long kick. And it's returned past the 25 to about the 26. Ken Dotson, the rookie on the return. Couple rookies lining this Death wide receiver core. Dante Smith and Ken Dotson, both rookies. 3 touchdowns between the two of them, and Ken Dotson has all 3. Dante Smith was their first pick in the draft, though. So 0 touchdowns on the season. A bit underwhelming. But Gary Bird, the tight end, nice catch there for a first down. Starting to get Cody Hawk going in this one. Need some points on this 2-minute drill. 2 timeouts for the Death. Cody Hawk with no one in the backfield with him. Drops back after taking the snap from shotgun. Lots of time in this pocket. Looks left. Ooh, and a nice play. Chucky Mathis, one of the best coverage linebackers in the league, if not the best. 4 INTs on the season. And just clutch whenever you need him. He can track a receiver. He can track a tight end. He is great. Cody Hawk dropping back. Looking deep right. He's got his man. Great play there. That's Ken Dotson, the rookie. You're talking about him. Not their first wide receiver pick in the draft this season, but he's been their best. Cody Hawk dropping back, looking for something. Taking a lot of time in this pocket. Ooh. Not the best choice there. Maybe he wanted to float that one a little deeper than he did, try to get it out of bounds. But they live to see another day, 12 from the 12-yard line. Minute 16 remaining. Cody Hawk, one of the quarterbacks in this league you just feel could be better if he just limited choices like that. Always had the talent on the Hell Sharks, but can he bring it to the Death? Oh, that ball is jarred free. Not a fumble, apparently. They're going to call that one an incomplete pass. You know, I guess. Looked like a fumble to me. Tuck rule in effect. Cody Hawk coming out with one man in the backfield. It's Gora. Gora's blocking. Cody Hawk looks to the left. Throws it into triple coverage. And they'll probably get 3 from this. They got a pretty solid kicker in Dedrick Warfield, I should say. But another great coverage play there from a Wild linebacker. That's a feisty crew. Trying to sort of hit routes in that hook and curl zone is going to be tough against this team. Dedrick Warfield is proud of himself after that 30-yard field goal attempt. Ken Dotson had the big catch, 48 yards. He also had the nice little kick return to open that one, so lots of praise to him. Media's been loving him. Great story, Ken Dotson. And here comes the return from the other side, Von Doe, who will not make it back to the 20. Never really amazing starting field position for this Wild team. But they've been driving pretty easily till they get to that red zone. Their first touchdown they scored from outside the red zone. When they get to that red zone, they start to get big man, it seems. Just a 1-yard gain there on the screen. Read pretty well. This stream is sponsored to you by High Life Health, the only fully female-owned dispensary in New Rochelle, New York. That is where I live. Come find me. And here comes Wayne Lawrence coming out to take the snap from under center. 3rd and 8. Under a minute remaining at this point. Wayne Lawrence looks right, and he has a man, his running back. Eric Summers keeping this drive alive. 3rd and 8. Still have a timeout. 52 seconds. I could see them getting 3 on this drive. But if you're the Death, you have to watch out for Darren Leon on the right side. I could see them trying to bomb with him deep down the right side. Short pass, just getting it out of the backfield there. Nothing really going. Not going to take the timeout. Wayne Lawrence takes the shotgun snap, looks across the middle, finds his man for another short gain. Not a ton of urgency from this Wild team. Do have a 10-point lead, 2 possessions. This is the playoffs, though. You cannot get comfortable. This Wild team knows all about playoff comebacks. They made a huge comeback against the Dragons last season. Sort of wasted some time. Chose to call the timeout there. Interesting coaching decisions. Maybe not decisions, maybe blunders. We'll see what happens. 2 yards for a first down. It's 3rd and 2. And they hand it off up the middle. It's Eric Summers. A nice run there for Eric. Going to get them maybe into field goal range. Close, if not there. They have a Pro Bowl kicker in Riddick Knight. Pro Bowl rookie. Time is also coming off the clock. Lots of time coming off the clock. They're not going to get a playoff. Okay. Interesting end of half decision making there for the Wild. You got to wonder, could this come back to bite them? Death get the ball here at the beginning of the second half. A score here of any kind puts the Death back within a score now. So I got to... Oh, and there's a ball. The ball's loose on the kickoff. And that is a terrible blunder. Jonas Phillips, the rookie, makes a huge play on special teams. And a huge blunder by the opposite team's rookie, Ken Dotson. Rookie on rookie crime. Stealing that ball away. And that is a huge misstep for the Death. Wild have to start in the red zone. They've been playing tough in the red zone. Not tough in a good way, though. Eric Summers there, obviously frustrated. He hasn't been able to run it at all in this part of the field. 2 tries in the red zone, 2 field goals. Sponsored by Under Armour. Protect this house. Wayne Lawrence fakes the handoff. A great fake. Gets the defense hanging in the pocket. Not that much time. Tried to make something happen. But it was never happening. You can't give Jamal Middleton that much time. 13 sacks on the season. You give him that much time, he's going to get to you eventually. Now from the 14-yard line, it's 3rd and 5. They are 3 and 5 on third down conversions, I should say. Wayne Lawrence pump fakes, throws it short. Not going to get anywhere. Tried to make a play with the tight end, Conrad Tucker. But that route ended a little too short for that to have gone anywhere. The Death Swarm make the tackle. At best, the Wild will go to a score of 16-3. Still not great for the Death. You know, that not much of a strategy changer, since really you just need to get touchdowns at this point, but in some ways it is. You know, you don't want to settle for those field goals as much anymore. After another field goal from the Wild. The Death defense has really, I got to say, kept this team in the game, though. Realistically, this should be a lot worse if you're the Death. And I think you can look at that in 2 ways if you're the Death coaching staff. You can look at it in a defeatist attitude, as, you know, we're playing so bad. You know, even though the score's pretty close, we're just not playing well. Or you could look at it with the attitude where, hey, maybe we don't deserve to win this, but let's go steal this one. That's the only way you're going to win this game. See, if you give Cody Hawk the confidence to go steal this one. Cody Hawk drops back, finds his receiver, Ken Dotson. Oh, and Ken Dotson appears to be injured. Looks like his knee, he's hobbling a bit. Stinks for the rookie. He's been having a solid game as a, you know, aside from the fumbled kickoff. Resulted in 3 points for the Wild. Overall, that could have ended up way worse for him. It's tough to see him get injured there. Not going to be able to make up for it, maybe. Hand off to Sam Gora. On the right side. Nice run by Sam Gora. Is that 9 or 10 yards for him? 34 yards in total for him, 5.6 yards per carry. That really stinks. I think, getting behind early has really changed this Death team's game plan. Ken Dotson seems like he will return. He's a tough son of a gun. Tough kid. Sam Gora in the backfield. Let's see if they run it with him again on inches. No, they're going to pass it here. Ooh, looking deep, but he gets hit as he throws, and that one careens dangerously but falls to the ground. Now it's 3rd and inches. Probably run it here. I like taking the shot on 2nd and inches. It's really a play where you could do something and you still feel safe here. Just an inch to go. And Sam Gora gets the first down. Looked dicey at first, but he fights ahead. Nearly across into enemy lines. See if they stick with the run here. Time is ticking away. Although there is a significant amount of time here. They do not have to abandon the run game entirely at this point, but they do have to be efficient with it. They've got to be efficient with it. And I'd like to see, if they start passing it, I'd like to see them look for Thurman Sylvester in this one. Cody Hawk's favorite target this season, Pro Bowler at the wide receiver position. He's been sort of absent in this one so far. But a handoff to Sam Gora and a nice run. Sam Gora having a great game. He's always been a bright spot in this Death offense. Ooh, excuse me. In this Death offensive scheme. Having a good season this year. Big reason for this team's success. Got Raven Joyner in the backfield right now. And they fake it to him. Looking deep left. He's got a step. Finds his man in the back corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Cody Hawk. Pumping his fist. 39-yard touchdown pass. Looks like it was to Thurman Sylvester. Couldn't really tell. We'll see after the fact. But I do believe that was number 83, Thurman Sylvester. Pro Bowler. Getting a huge touchdown here. And the Death are just one touchdown back. Thurman Sylvester, it is 39-yard touchdown pass in the back corner. We've seen some really beautiful passes from Cody Hawk in this one. Also a mix of his bad decision-making. Which one is it going to be in the end of this one? Lots of time left, though. Only a one-score game. Kickoff is fielded by Von Doe. Going to bring it just past the 20, I believe. To the 21. 21. My favorite vine is probably look at all those chickens, because she's pointing at like seagulls. Those aren't chickens at all. It's funny. Wayne Lawrence takes the snap under center, fakes the handoff, looks deep right. They're trying to get it right back. Ooh, but a great defensive play. Juan Henry. A legendary figure in the DFL, Juan Henry. The first defender to have 2 7-interception seasons. You've really gone past the 7 interceptions season mark at this point in DFL history. But at a point, he was really a star corner, a legendary corner. Ooh, but Eric Summers making some nice moves, getting around Kelvin Rogers. Just kind of leaving him in the or getting him mixed up there. He was all sorts of turnaround. Eric Rogers gets a nice little gain there. But hey, this is a nice chance for the Death to really get their first good stop of the game, honestly. Wayne Lawrence backing up in the pocket. Oh, looks across the middle and finds his man, who is honestly surrounded by defenders. Looks like none of the defenders really wanted to go after that ball. Wayne Lawrence has had a great game. Conrad Tucker has had a solid game, 33 yards, 11 yards per reception, and a huge reception right there. Handoff up the middle. Oh, and a nice run for Rod Davis. Rod Davis slams through a man. Rod Davis was the hero of last year's playoff game, their wild card game against the Dragons. Rod Davis had a great game. This year, they've been leaning much more heavily on Eric Summers at running back, but Rod Davis might be their answer for what they need in those red zone situations. Nice defensive play there. Antrell Dawkins. You would like to see this secondary playing better. They do have some injuries. Terry Brown, the corner, he had 4 interceptions on the season. Tiki Jackson's been injured all season. 2 big injuries in the secondary. Wayne Lawrence so far has looked like he's been able to exploit it. But here, the pressure is too much. That pressure came fast and it came hard. There were a lot of guys coming all over Wayne Lawrence's face, all over Wayne Lawrence's chest. Pause, big bro. Sorry, little bro. Wayne Lawrence and shotgun now. It's 3rd and 15. That was a big sack. Wayne Lawrence is this big sack. Wayne Lawrence looking deep right, though, and there's nothing there. Double covered. The pressure was coming again, and Wayne Lawrence had to get rid of it. And here is a punt from the Wild. I believe maybe their first punt of the game. I don't know if I'm wrong on that. Or I think it is their first punt of the game. I think they've had field goals every other drive. But now it's Cody Hawk's time. Maybe Sam Gora's time to possibly take the lead in this one. Cody Hawk, lots of time in the pocket right here. Tons of time. Too much time. He can't make a decision. He gets smacked from behind. Cody Hawk frustrated with himself there. He has to be. He knows he spent a lot of time in that pocket. One of those that feels like when you look back on that one in the film room, you're not going to be happy with yourself. And one that will also bring us to the end of the third quarter, 16-10, Jungle City Wild over Black Death. This has been a fun one. We've seen some great defensive play. We've seen some great offensive play. Some crazy special teams plays. We're just now into the best quarter of a football game. That's the fourth quarter. When it all comes to a head. Cody Hawk sends a man in motion to the left side. Up the middle, they're going to run with Sam Gora. able to shift past a couple men, but taken down. Swarming Wild defense. Are they going to be able to lock in and save their face, save the comeback? Or can the Death here complete it? Lots of time in the pocket. Not a great throw there by Cody Hawk. Had two plays there with lots of time in the pocket and really nothing to show for it. And they're going to have to punt it away. Lots of time in this game. But right now you're down by 6. You cannot be giving anything up. And not the greatest punt there. Get it out of bounds, but they get it out of bounds at the 45. Only 5 yards to make it cross field for the Wild here, who have been driving in most of their drives. Last drive is the first one to really peter out before the red zone. Fakes the handoff. Wayne Lawrence wide open. Darren Leon. Touchdown. And a huge touchdown for the Wild. Wayne Lawrence, 282 pass yards. He finds his favorite target. Darren Leon. Rookie of the Year in Season 1. Touchdown here in the playoffs. And you knew it was about time. Has over 100 receiving yards in this one. Wide receiver of the year. He's a real weapon. And a 2-point conversion. Easy. That time for Eric Summers. Maybe his easiest run of the day. Walks into the end zone. One play, devastating drive for the Wild. 24-10 for them. And it's a 14-point game. The Death are now playing against the clock. See where the return goes here. Nice little move. Gets out just before the 30-yard line. 28. And, you know, we really have to see something at this point we haven't really seen all game from the Death. That's really a solid, sustained drive from the passing game. The time for running is over, and the time for throwing interceptions has just began. The first interception of the game, and it's Eddie McFarland. It's one of their great cover linebackers. And that might just do it for this game. It would take a miracle at this point for the Death to come back. The Wild can really run this game out. Eric Summers to the left side. Near a first down, if not a first down. And a strong showing today from the Wild. Some cracks at points, but really they held control in this one for the whole time. I think a big part of this game was turnovers here. Only one of them was on the offense for the Death, that recent interception. But the special teams blunder, the kickoff return to start the second half, you know, that's such a moment where momentum is built Momentum really got killed in that moment. Wayne Lawrence dropping back to pass on 3rd and short. Which kind of throws that one to the end zone. Weird play for this team at this moment, have to admit, but they're about to be up 17. Can't really hate. And now I'm going to do something that you might not get, right? You might not get this from other commentators and other networks, other sports networks and other commentators. I'm going to, in the middle of the game, because, game's basically over, I'm going to come back, but I'm going to go piss right now. I'm going to go pee in the toilet. I'll be right back. So don't you worry your cute little butts off. I see you three fans. I love y'all. God bless. I'm going to go piss for this drive. See y'all in a sec. Type shit. Implosion. Embarrassing. Chucky Mathis. Been talking about him all game. Like he wasn't going to make a huge play. Dagger. If this game wasn't already over. I realized I checked out the stream for sure while I was taking a pee. Crowd noise needs to get elevated. You know what I'm saying? It's the playoffs. Let me know in the chat how the crowd noise is. Tell me up or down, how you want to feel it. I love my fans. Wayne Lawrence under center. Strong to the left, 2 man behind him. Up the middle. Strong run for Eric Summers. 70 yards for him, 57 yards for Sam Gora. Up the middle. Running out the clock. And I guess at this point, let's look ahead. Let's look ahead, see what we got on the horizon. The possible horizon for this Wild team. With a Wild win, They could play either the Sword or the Seamen still in the second round, but that will all be determined on the Scorps versus Zappers game coming up next. Finish up the NFC wildcard games. If the Scorps win, the Wild will play Le Random Sword. If the Zappers pull off the upset, the Wild will play the rival Sea City Seamen in the second round. Wild haven't been able to get a touchdown in this red zone. And at this point, it'd really just be an insult to injury to finally get that touchdown in the end zone or in the red zone. At this point, game's really over. They could run it out. I don't even know if the Death will even take their timeouts. Eric Summers up the middle. Just trying to get to 100 yards rushing in a playoff game. Great game for Eric Summers. Great game for Darren Leon. Great game for Wayne Lawrence. Great game for Conrad Tucker. Oh, Eric Summers staying up. What a run. Didn't get anything going, but what a resilient run there for Eric Summers. This game is sponsored by #Honey. Smoking on their Maui Wowie right now. Riddick Knight going to come out, make this a 20-point game. And the Death now have less than a minute to score 3 touchdowns. Wayne Lawrence getting the MVP of the game. It's not surprising. Nearly 300 yards for him. Great performance. QB of the year. Maybe the worst QB of the year last season, if that was an award. Although, he was in the playoffs last season, technically. He was traded to a playoff team, though, for the most part. Wayne Lawrence will pick up, I believe, his third career playoff win. He will be 3-2. He's won 2 playoff games on the Wild and won a playoff game with the Holy Men, I believe. I need to consult the Oh no, he's lost. He lost 2 with the Holy Men. Whatever, doesn't matter. He's a new man. He's a winner in this game. Cody Hawk looking for anything. 4th down. Do you even go for it at this point? Probably. Why not? Why not let it fly? The Black Death are going to move to 1-2 all time in the playoffs. The Wild will move to 2-1 all time in the playoffs. So both teams going to opposite sides of 500. Eek! Eek! Sorry about that. Sorry about eeking like that. Like a little mouse guy. I am sort of like a little mouse guy, though. Whip, whip. Oh my gosh, the encroachment. The unnecessary encroachment there by Todd Gregg. Or Josh Gregg, I should say. Josh, obviously frustrated. But stick around, you know, we got more of the Dream Bowl 5, Season 5 playoffs coming up. Cody Hawk upset. Obviously, coaches, Maiden having a nice handshake. Wayne, ecstatic. Yeah. So guys, what we're gonna do right here, right? We're gonna end the stream, right? And then we're gonna come back at a new stream. And we're gonna see how that goes. I'm the entity. That's what I am in the lore. That's my name in the lore. You guys, a lot of you guys weren't here for that earlier, but